Welcome back to Storytime. In today's episode, we're going to be reading stories using the prompt, "You are a B-list superhero on the verge of losing your job. During a battle with a villain, you accidentally end up killing one of the more prolific superheroes of your time. That's when you realize that with your niche power that was useless as a hero, you could be an A-list villain." Today's story comes from user Sadnesslaughs. Crowd control again? How was I supposed to know that Sir Bright had the situation under control? No one ever tells me anything. They leave me in the dark, and then when I try to do the right thing, they yell at me. You should be happy they even let you work crowds. Sir Bright wants you removed from the league after your stunt. People are in the hospital because of you. You know your powers are dangerous, so why did you use them so close to civilians? I didn't think there was anything on the other side of the wall. I was just trying to create an exit. The flames were getting intense. I messed up. Like always, just watch the crowds and try not to decompose anyone this time. You were lucky Sir Bright got there before they did. You could be in jail. Hellbringer was right. She was always right. I tried to play hero and people got hurt. I hated these powers, hated myself. The only reason I even got into the league was because of my family's connections. Even the people hated me, each giving me a look of scorn as they made their way toward viewing platform, ready to listen to another speech by Sir Bright discussing his latest victory. I wish they could love me like him, but everything about me just disgusted them. My pale, sickly flesh and my abilities won me no supporters, each wishing they could remove me from the league, something that I suspected would happen soon enough. Eyes sharp, Sir Bright is coming onto the stage. If anyone is going to attack, they'll do it now. Hopebringer snapped her fingers before me, bringing my attention to the golden-suited hero, his natural charisma as bright as the clothing he wore, people sobbing like he was some sort of deity. He gave a nod to Hopebringer, only to ignore me as I offered him a nod, turning his attention to the random guard near one of the neighboring food stalls. My friends, yesterday was one of the toughest battles yet. I know it feels like I say that every year, but it's true. Vagabond pushed me to my limits, and without your support, I don't think I could have won, which is why I am speaking to you today. The crowd just ate up his words. Even I couldn't help but be enchanted by his speech. Something about the way he spoke just echoed through those old comic book superheroes I used to read about, my gaze falling off the crowd, turning to watch the speech. We need your support. A divided community is how the villains win. Now, I know that some of you have concerns about certain incidents that occurred yesterday. I know us heroes aren't perfect, but we have standards, and we hear you loud and clear. I assure you that the individual will be terminated tomorrow if they do not resign on their own terms. The crowd cheered at his words, turning to face me, showering me with mocking claps of approval. I looked at Hopebringer for some support. None came. She was far more interested in keeping her professional composure. Get out of here, Plague! You bring nothing but bad luck! A civilian shouted from the crowd. It was a horrible nickname. I couldn't remember the last time anyone called me calm positive. What's the point of even being a hero if everyone's going to dub you with some vulgar villain name? Now, people, Compositive has served his community to the best of his abilities. Sir Bright tried to start a small applause, only to stop when the booing continued. Then he finally looked my way, only to give me a shrug of his shoulders, acting as though he tried to give me some dignity. Villain incoming from the left entrance, Hopebringer shouted, drawing attention to the intruding villain. I turned, spotting Infernic, the villain standing amongst the crowd, her hands clapping from her robes. A look of glee on her lips as a string of flames shot across the floor, cutting its way through the crowd towards the stage. Everyone, stay calm. I'll protect you. Hopebringer, get the crowd out of here. And Compositive, just stay out of the action before you get someone killed, Sir Bright ordered, calling the shots from the stage. She had gotten in on my side. I had dropped my guard, and now people were in danger. How did she get in? I should have spotted her, right? Standing frozen, I watched the terrified crowd nearly trample one another to death, Hopebringer rushing to divert them to the exits, while Sir Bright attracted the flames to himself, the inferno surrounding him before extinguishing itself in his palm. Get out of here, please. I tried to motion the crowd away, but any time I approached, they panicked further, like I was the villain. No matter what I called out, they didn't listen. All I was doing was slowing down Hopebringer's plan. Leaving the rescue to her, I focused on the villain. Sir Bright could attract objects to himself, having that typical super strength and durability that people like me desired. Despite that, I felt compelled to help, rushing towards the battlefield only for a ring of fire to surround me.
Stay there. You aren't even a hero anymore. This is between us, isn't it, Sir Bright?
She tossed a wall of flames towards Sir Bright, who only crossed his arms over his chest, the wall of fire hitting him like a wave from the ocean, and with a similar effect. Apart from a few burn marks, he appeared to be fine. Swinging his left arm towards her, a howling gust of wind sending her flying back, extinguishing the surrounding flames.
That's enough, Infernic. Why even come to a place so heavily guarded? Did you miss me that much?
You bastard! I'll send you to hell, you brute!
The stadium erupted once again, the flames unbearably hot, sending me wobbling back towards the entrance, the crowd luckily leaving just as the flames reached the viewing area. So this was Hell's Cage, the infamous killing move of Infernic. The name really gave away everything one needed to know about the move. The roaring red flames climbing in the area, the burst of red flames digging out of the soil, erupting like volcanoes, with Infernic directing it all. I needed to run, but my legs refused to move, frozen stiff in both fear and awe. What if Sir Bright needed backup? I couldn't leave. I expected the flames to challenge him, but he didn't even concern himself with them. Flying down from the stage, body coated in divine light, tackling her to the ground below. In one powerful swoop, he had knocked the wind out of her, the flames dying down, leaving only a few small flames surrounding the crater that Sir Bright had created. Sir Bright, are you okay? Do you need any help? I peered into the crater, watching Sir Bright strike the villain. I understood knocking out a villain, but this was beyond that. The hits causing the surrounding ground to shake, causing me to stumble into the crater. Sir, she's defeated. You can let her go now. I have some handcuffs on me. We could take her in.
Don't you dare tell me how to handle a villain. You're not a hero anymore. Now get out of here before I have you written up for disrupting a hero's duty.
But sir, I winced, watching another strike follow, the barbaric display turning my stomach. I clutched my eyes shut, trying to ignore the sight, only to hear a scream. That's when I reached forward. Stop, sir, that's enough. She's defeated. As soon as I touched his neck, I felt it. The black liquid slipping from my fingernails, crawling onto his skin. I had only meant to pull him off her. Why did my powers activate? I pulled my hand away, but it was far too late. Sir Bright, trying to turn his head, unable to look back as the decaying power weakened his muscles until his head rolled off, collapsing his body onto the villain. Sir Bright, this isn't happening. You wouldn't die from such a weak ability. Please get up. The people need you. I grabbed his head, trying to reattach it, with no luck, the skin only peeling further as the decay moved towards his chest.
That's what you deserve. Didn't know you had it in you, kid.
Infernic laughed, spitting out a wad of blood onto the dead hero, dragging herself out of the crater. I didn't mean to kill him. I just wanted to stop him from making a mistake. I'll just tell the heroes and they'll
have you executed. You killed the top hero. Do you think they'll believe your words? Want to know what the headline will read tomorrow? Dejected hero kills top hero after being fired.
No, but you saw me. You know my intentions were good, right?
Sure I do. But who's going to believe me? Even if they did believe me, do you think they'd care? You still misused your powers. Why don't you become a villain? I'd feel awful about leaving you to die after all that. I'm evil, but even villains have honor among thieves kind of deal.
Wiping the blood from her lips, Infernic stood up, inspecting the debris. After looking, she motioned me to follow her, raising her hand, stretching out her 5 fingers.
We have 5 minutes until backup arrives. I suggest you follow me.
But I don't want to be a villain.
Well, whether you want to be a villain or not, you need to follow me. Not all villains are evil. What about Robin Hood? A person who many people viewed as a villain, but he did good. You can decide who you want to be later. But if you stay here, you'll be dead before you can figure it out.
I struggled to decide. Neither option sounded great, but she had a point. If I stayed here, they would kill me for treason. At least if I escaped, I could plan a way to make this right. Okay, but I'm still a hero. Once we go our separate ways, just know I'll be coming to catch you again.
You are making me really want to leave you here, you know that? Cut the crap for once in your life and follow me. My minions are waiting in the car outside. I'll take you to my base.
With nowhere else to go, I followed Infernic through the burning debris, slipping past the burning stalls, coming towards a fence. Infernic placed her hand against it, burning a hole in the metal for us, allowing us to escape quietly into the street. It seemed most people had evacuated, making it easier for us to slip into the car she had waiting. As soon as we slipped into the back seat, the car began moving, allowing me to breathe a temporary breath of relief.
Ease up. It's only a short drive. Just try to take your mind off it for a moment.
I tried to do as she said, peering out the tinted window, every screen outside declaring the tragic passing of their beloved hero and the wanted murderer that used to work for him. It would take a lot to clear my name. I just hoped I would live long enough to do it.